not sure what day it is today, what day number. I think it might be Sunday though, if that helps. It's second day out of Trout Lake. I don't think I actually filmed any videos yesterday. Mostly I've been hiking with, or caught up to a group of people who I quite like in Trout Lake, so hiked most of yesterday with them and camped with them last night, so I definitely spend less time talking to myself on my phone when I'm around other people, and also really don't want to look too much like a dickhead, so I don't do this too often. So the Trout Lake to White's Pass stretch is about 3 days, so it's day 2. Did 20 miles yesterday after doing a 30 and a 31 to get into Trout Lake. So far, if I'm on my own, I've got nothing else to do, I can definitely still do the bigger days. But it is a little more enjoyable to go a little slower and be around other people, and it's nicer on my body as well to do 20s and 25s. Today the goal's to do about 25, I think. This is the group's goal. Kind of lines up pretty well with what I want to do. In that there's a Miriam fire closure that we'll hit tomorrow. So the idea is today just to get as close as possible basically, because I believe it's potentially a rougher trail, which might be a little bit slower to travel. And it cuts off about 16 miles of PCT, but I'm pretty sure it's longer, possibly significantly. So I want to have a whole day to do it. And for me, the group I know is gonna, when it hits this Highway 12, excuse me, most people just hitch down to what's called the Cracker Barrel, where a lot of people have resupply and stuff there. That's where the PCT restarts again, where it's open. For me and my connecting of footsteps, it means I've got a 3-mile road walk, which is apparently quite dangerous. So that should be interesting. Nothing like playing chicken with some cars when you're on foot. Probably the biggest news at the moment, which has been floating around for a couple of days now, is that the PCT is being closed up to the border. So, I mean, again, it's a couple of weeks away yet, so I'm not too concerned. Well, I mean, it's going to be closed when I get there. I just haven't worried about the details too much yet. But it sounds like anywhere from 30 to 80 miles of the last 30 or 80 miles of the PCT are going to be closed because of a fire, which is pretty devastating, because obviously we all want to cross into Canada, or at least get to the border, see that monument and know that we've finished, especially those of us that have been connecting footsteps the whole way. So for me, that's just kind of kicked my stubbornness up a level. I'm not giving up that easily. If it's closed for fire, I'm not just stopping at Hearts Pass or Rainy Pass or wherever the closure is and going, well, that's the end of it, and hopping in the car. That's not happening. I will just end up road walking. However far it happens to be, there has to be a way to walk to Canada. They can't close everything. So if there's no alternate trails I can take, I will just walk the road. Which last time I did a quick Google, from Hearts Pass to the Sumas border crossing into Canada, which is like a legit road crossing with border guards and everything, not a wilderness crossing. It was about 130 miles by road. Actually, that was by the Pacific Northwest Trail. It was even longer by road. But as long as I've got time on my visa, I will do it. So it could get interesting just to see just how stubborn and pea-headed I can be to achieve this. Part of me is like not hoping for it to be that way, but part of me, at least at this stage, sees some kind of novelty in the sheer misery that could be walking hundreds of miles of road in potentially raining and snowing and miserable September Washington weather, but we will cross that bridge when I get there. But yeah, it could get interesting. So for now, there's no point worrying about it. For now, it's still just try and make fairly good time up through Washington while not missing it, but just keep moving forward, get as far north as possible, somewhat as quick as possible, to allow maximum time to get in. And then the other option is, once I do get to Canada, if the Canadian side of the border at Manning Park there hasn't been closed, hiking back south from Manning Park to the monument to get my stupid photo to prove that I have been there, or to go and stand where the burnt and charred remains of the monument was recently built this year, because they just put a new wooden one there to replace the older one. So it'd be kind of ironic if the new wooden one got burnt to a crisp straight away. For now, all things are good. I'm carrying too much food, too much water, and the weather's actually beautiful and cool. It's kind of overcast. It's still early, it's probably about 6:30. But yeah, today should be some pretty steep, but hopefully pretty scenic hiking. We'll see how we go. Up here in the Goat Rocks Wilderness, one of the most scenic sections of Washington. As you can see, the views are amazing. How's the serenity? I feel like this is one of the points where I should have some pretty stunning views. Clearly, I do not have stunning views. I have several shades of grey. I don't know how many. I'm not sure if there's 50 or not, but there's at least 2. Up on top of Cispus Pass, that says. It's about 6,400 feet, which is not too bad considering when I left Cascade Locks a few days ago, I was at 77 feet above sea level. So it's been up and down and up and down and up and down to get up to here at Cispus Pass. I've got to say though, as far as having a break goes, or ridge walking and then having a break, as you can see the trail wind off along towards that sort of saddle down there, climbing all the way up here and then sitting around having a break and having a feed here, listening to some Pink Floyd, is pretty good. I've just decided that Pink Floyd is by far the best music to listen to while walking on scenic ridges like this, and also while sitting here and eating food on scenic ridges like this. It may be smoky, but it's still beautiful. Tell you what, it's nice to be back in the mountains, out in the open with views, even if they are kind of smoky views, but it is stunningly beautiful. A lot more climbing, but definitely worth it. As I said, even though it is as smoky as it is, it's still really beautiful. And today the weather's nice and cool, there's a nice breeze blowing. I suspect it's actually overcast or cloudy as well as smoky. So it's very good. Sounds like tomorrow is going to be a bit of an ordeal. The reroute to get up to White's Pass. So there was an original reroute because of a fire, a reroute because of a fire closure, and then another fire started on the reroute. So now there's a reroute, which, going by the comments and gut hooks, sounds pretty rough. Sounds like it only adds a few miles on to what the PCT would be, but the terrain definitely sounds much less agreeable. So at the moment I'm loaded up with water because it's my last water for a while. I'll be dry camping tonight, just a couple of miles before the junction to get onto this reroute, and then it'll be what it will be tomorrow. Actually a beautiful campsite right here. I should just stay here. It's, as you can, little sort of campsite in there, surrounded by these beautiful mountains. Should stay here, but I'm not going to, because yeah, it just sounds like tomorrow it's going to be challenging. So I kind of want to be as fresh as possible for that, or rather not as fresh as possible, but also minimise the amount of miles I need to do. Got about 1,200 foot climb to do this afternoon, carrying a ton of water, which is always fun. And then I have no idea what the reroute entails, except lots of up and down, I imagine. But anyway, for now, I'm going to go back to listening to Pink Floyd and walking along in this scenic dream.